Hi, my name is Rufus Harley, the world's first and only jazz bagpiper and saxophonist. Freedom is ringing on Jazz City, so stay in tune. Hey, life goes on. Like I say, life goes on. And I was inspired to get into the bagpipes by watching the burial services of the late President Kennedy. And I looked in all of the pawn shops around here in Philadelphia, and I couldn't find a set. So I called all the pawn shops in New York City, and I found this good set of Hardy pipes. By not knowing anything about pipes, I found a good set of Hardy pipes in the pawn shop in New York. Of course, the pawnbroker thought that I was sort of going kooky at that time, back in the 60s. And when I first saw the bag, I said, well, it wouldn't be really nothing to the instrument, nothing but a bag and a bunch of sticks. The flute was hard, the oboe was hard, the soprano, the alto, the tenor, you know, all of them was rough instruments. So I tried to blow the bagpipes up, and I couldn't get a sound out of it. Then I realized that, hey, this is really going to be rough. So I gave the pawnbroker back the bagpipes, took my $120, and began to leave New York City. But right as I got out the door, I heard a voice said it was probably me talking to me, and it usually is, and said, go back and get the bagpipes. You had problems at first, and you can do it. So I went back and got them and took them home, started practicing. Of course, the neighbors and everybody thought they couldn't believe hearing bagpipes in the ghetto of Philadelphia. So the cops would come to the house and say, I'm sorry that we have a complaint that there's bagpipes being played here. And I would get away by saying, do I look like I'm Irish or Scottish to you? And they would politely say that I thought that was a crank call, and then they would bow out gracefully and leave me alone, until I started making a lot of local television shows like the International Council of Churches on Channel 10. And I made some shows like To Tell the Truth, I Got a Secret, and What's My Line, and the Steve Allen Show, the Johnny Carson Show, I call it, back in the day when I first started. And so now it cannot be hitting anymore. In fact, I just did the Arsenio Hall Show, and that was about 2 weeks ago. I'm quite sure a lot of folks out there saw it. And we came up with 3 threes, and I'm very happy about that, because 3 is about being free. And here I am now, being the world's first and only jazz bagpiper. I have been able to go to Scotland and Ireland, and I kissed the Blarney Stone in Ireland, and blowing the bagpipes on Blarney's Castle. Blarney's Castle is a castle that goes back to the 11th and 12th century, that represents the Irish culture. In fact, they have adopted me as one of their spiritual pipers, brothers. My name is now Mac Harley. You know, Mac Rufus Harley, which Mac means a son of. And then I went on to Germany, and while they was tearing down the Berlin Wall, I presented them with the Liberty Bell on national television, representing their freedom. And I was able to go to Moscow last year and perform on the first International Moscow Jazz Festival. I was able to take the Liberty Bell to, take the Liberty Bell to Moscow, and present it to the Russian people, and to Gorbachev. Of course, I had to send his through the embassy, but and then I've been able to be very successful of taking this bell around the world. I have presented this bell to the President of the United States, President Bush, and the President Mitterrand of France, and to South Africa. I have presented it to the people in South Africa, and I'm telling you, it's just a trip. So now I need to be what I have been continuing to be, the world's first international ambassador of culture and freedom.